Hey everybody, it's Jenny. I really appreciate you guys helping me out and doing our first session online and via video format. I'm going to kind of just give you a quick overview of what our project is for the next few days, or I guess a couple weeks, I guess. We want to be able to develop some of our courses so that possibly in the future they could be used for our online students instead of using a separate platform like Edmentum or Edgenuity or something like that, because this is the stuff that you guys actually put together that goes with our standards and we know it's best for our students. We also want to start integrating some more tech tools to make this online stuff more engaging for students into our everyday classes that we teach here on campus in person. So I'm going to every day kind of give you a new tool that you can use and embed into some of your lessons. And we're going to talk about how those will work in different subject areas and how we can use them in different subject areas. So you can kind of see here that I've started putting together like a Shawnee Public Schools class for the basics that we have, math and Spanish and things like that. And there'll be something for everybody to work on. But for right now, I just want you to focus on this tool or this process that I'm going to give you that we can use to update some lessons. So I'm just going to click on this one for an example. And I'm going to click on that. See, you guys have done a wonderful job. I've imported in the work that you guys did over this last year. It was great, and we're just going to keep building on it. You guys are awesome. I'm going to click on this first Monday bell work and open it up. It's taking it a minute to load. And this is awesome. This is a great activity for them to do for bell work, but we'd like to make it a little bit more engaging and maybe easier for the teacher to turn it in and easier for them to keep up with. So like if I go to student view and look at this, it just gives them some directions and things they should do. There isn't necessarily a submit button. So we're going to turn this into a different assignment. So I'm going to just copy this because it's a wonderful task for them to do. And then I'm going to go over to this sample Google Doc that I have, and I'm going to paste that in here. And so now what you can do, it says correct the errors in the following sentences. One sentence does not have any errors. Type your correction in the text box provided. So in the bell work, they could type in the text box, but they can actually make this document, and it can be a running document so that all of their bell ringers are in one document. So what we're going to do is, this is something that they can type right on. So they can go through these sentences and fix these. So if I were a student and I had this document right here, I would just fix it. So what you can do is you can come up here to the top and you can backspace everything and get rid of edit and then put copy. And this is going to force students to make a copy. So I'm going to highlight this link, and I'm going to go back to my Monday bell work, and I'm going to leave student view, and I'm going to click on edit, and it's loading here. In this box, I'm going to backspace this out. I'm going to change the assignment a little bit. It's kind of eliminating a step for the students. So I'm going to say, click the link to make a copy of today's bell ringer. Please correct the sentences. Oh no, I'm going to say please follow the instructions and submit the Google Doc link so that your assignment can be graded. And then I'm going to highlight this link, this word link, because that's where I want them to click. And I'm going to click the link box. I'm going to say an external link. And I'm going to paste my link in there. And then instead of a text entry, we're going to have website URL so that they can submit a website URL. And I'm going to go to save. So now let's see how this has changed for students. So when students see this, I'm going to go to student view. They click the link and it forces them to make a copy of this document for themselves to edit. And then once they make their copy, so they click make a copy, they can go in and they can type right on this document. And then once they make their copy, so I'm going to make my copy. They can rename it, and then they can copy this link and go here, and then they'll be able to submit it as a website URL for you to view. So that is just that is a very simple thing that you can use this forced copy for. There are a lot of different things. So like if you have an essay template, like if you want to give your students an essay template, you have the title and you have the headings that they need all on this template, and they just come in and make a copy and they start typing and writing. Maybe you have all the font correct, maybe the font size is correct, and they just start typing it for you. Or maybe you have a template and you want them to correct it so that it's in correct MLA format or APA format, whatever they're going to be doing for an essay. For math, you could have problems on here where they can actually type the words on here. Or you can have a video. So like if you have this Google Doc, you can insert a video and have them practice something on here. But if they have their own copy, it's like making their own worksheet. So that is the skill that I wanted to show you today, is the force a copy, and it's the same. So let me just do this. Let me show you. It's the same for any Google product. So if I go to slides and say I have a slide template, I have an assignment that I want my students to do, and so I'm just going to do a blank one. Or actually, there was a good one right there. Let me go back. I had one there already. So say I have this graphic organizer, and this is a science graphic organizer. You might have a math one, but it's already in this Google slide file. Sorry, it's taking it a minute to load. Students, you can do the same exact thing right here. Like if you have this for math or science, and you remove the edit and you put copy in there, and you copy that link and provide it to students, students will be able to make their own copy of this graphic organizer, and then they can add a text box to it. And they can type push factor or pull factor right on there. So they also are able to do, let me see, their text. They're able to do superscript and subscript. So if you're doing math, They can do a superscript if they need to. There's just a lot of different things. So that is the skill we're working on today, virtually. It's just knowing that you can make a copy of anything, and you can force your students to make their own copy. So it's like they're making their own worksheet, and then they can submit it online. And then also, I'm just going to give this example for math with Google Sheets. You could have the students working on a budget project, and there are several templates here that you could use for a budget project, and I'm just going to click on this one. And you can make the template for it, or you can use a template already provided. And provide your students instructions. Provide your students instructions to come up with a budget for themselves. And then if you want every student to have their own budget, hold on. You just come up right here and you backspace this and you put copy. And then you copy that link. And then you go to your assignment in Canvas and you do something like this and make that link available so that when they click on the link, they can make a copy of this budget. So that is our strategy or our tool that I want you to think about. So your homework for today is I want you to go back and look at some of your lessons in Canvas, some of your personal lessons when you log in, and I want you to start thinking about some of the ways that you can use Google Doc, Google Slide, or Google Sheets and make students make a copy of their template and then fill it in. As an English teacher, a math teacher, a science teacher, the same works and applies for social studies, Spanish, anything like that. I want you to go in and I want you to look at how this changing the link to a Google Doc or a Google Slide or a Google Sheets can be added to some of your lessons and make them more engaging for students and helpful for you at the same time. If you have questions, please feel free to send me an email and I will see you tomorrow.